One of the best MCU villains is, without a doubt, Michael B. Jordan's Erik Killmonger from 2018's Black Panther. His motivations are some of the strongest from any antagonist in the franchise. What sets him apart is his deep-rooted personal obsession and drive to become the king of Wakanda. His unwavering pursuit of his goals is unrivaled, in my opinion. In the film, Killmonger is an American-born Wakandan named Eric Stevens. His father was Prince N'Jobu, brother of King T'Chaka, the deceased father of T'Challa. Unbeknownst to Eric, his father had been smuggling vibranium weapons out of Wakanda with the help of Ulysses Klaw, aiming to give power to African Americans so they could rise up against their oppressors. This smuggling resulted in the deaths of countless Wakandans. The king of Wakanda, T'Chaka, learned of N'Jobu's treachery and confronted him in his apartment with his advisor Zuri by his side. N'Jobu attempted to kill Zuri, and Chaka was forced to take the life of his own brother. Eric, who had been outside playing basketball, noticed a strange ship flying away from their apartment complex and rushed inside to find his father dead, with panther claw marks in his chest. Emotionally devastated, Eric vowed revenge against the king of Wakanda and to succeed where his father had failed. He would graduate from university and become a United States Navy SEAL, being deployed in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Africa. He was also a member of a ghost unit in Special Ops, where he accumulated the highest kill count in his group. He glorified this by cutting his skin, one mark for every kill. It was during this time that he garnered the nickname Killmonger. In the comics, Erik Killmonger is a native of Wakanda named N'Jadaka. He and his family were exiled by King T'Chaka for treason when he was just a boy, after his father was forced by Ulysses Klaw to aid him in an attack on the country. His father was killed in battle, and N'Jadaka moved to Harlem, New York, where he trained his body to seek revenge against the Wakandan king for banishing him and inadvertently causing his father's death. When he returns to Wakanda years later, T'Challa agrees to accept him back into the country. However, while Black Panther is away aiding the Avengers, Killmonger uses the opportunity to start a revolution and tear Wakanda apart from the inside out. Now, depending on the continuity, some of these elements of Erik Killmonger's backstory vary, but that's roughly what it is. I've tried to explain it to the best of my ability. So in the comics, his motivations are heavily influenced by the death of his father as well as his exile. In some way, everything was taken from him, just like in the film. In Black Panther, Erik learns everything he can about the country of Wakanda and vows to find it. He works with Klaw to steal a vibranium weapon from a museum in hopes of luring out Wakandans who seek to protect it. He eventually double-crosses Klaw and murders him, gaining entry into Wakanda with Klaw's corpse. Seeing as Klaw was a wanted man there for past atrocities, Killmonger had eliminated Wakanda's greatest enemy. Shortly after his arrival, Killmonger reveals his true identity with his father's royal ring and announces his intention to challenge King T'Challa for the throne and reclaim his birthright. The two compete in a duel for the title, which Killmonger wins by throwing T'Challa off a cliffside into the water, something he had also done in the original comics. Killmonger was now king of Wakanda and set to become the next Black Panther. He believed that whoever holds this title is responsible for the lives of Africans and African descendants worldwide. He would use Wakanda's advanced technology to give them the power to rise up against those who oppressed them. In the comics, Killmonger's arrival in Wakanda signified a coup d'etat. He wanted vengeance. His base of operations was a smaller village within Wakanda that renamed itself N'Jadaka Village in his honor. He attacked the heart of Wakanda and attempted to overthrow its king, aiming to cleanse the country of colonialist influence. There were moments in the early comics where he reveals his belief that men are rarely content with who they are. He also views King T'Challa as a dreamer pursuing a pointless cause. In later appearances, he expands upon this, feeling that uniting two worlds, Africa and the West, is a childish fantasy. You can't be a hero of both. Many of these ideas bled over into the Black Panther film. After Erik becomes king, he enters the city of the dead and undergoes a ritual in which he drinks the fluid of the heart-shaped herb, the source of the Black Panther's superhuman abilities. He then orders the entire heart-shaped herb garden to be burned. In the comics, Erik Killmonger does become the Black Panther and ingests the herb, but he ends up in a coma due to a severe reaction. The herb is poisonous to anyone outside the royal bloodline. Shortly after becoming king, he dons a Black Panther costume of his own, featuring gold highlights and fangs on the mask. In the comics, when Erik takes the mantle, he wears a similar suit. Even the necklace resembles the one from the film. To my knowledge, it doesn't have the energy absorption capabilities like in the film, at least not to the same extent. One of the biggest flaws of the Black Panther film, in my opinion, is its climax. The CGI is weak at times, and it falls into the cliched Marvel mold, both the hero and villain wearing similar outfits. It's a cheap and easy way to show symmetry between the two. While Killmonger's costume looked cool, and it was something he wore in the comics, I think they should have avoided it. We've seen this too many times before. If Black Panther had been released 10 years earlier, it would have been fine. But after Ironmonger, Whiplash, and Yellow Jacket, I was hoping for something more, especially this far into the franchise. Mind you, there's much more emotional significance between T'Challa and Killmonger than any of those previous matchups. They're cut from the same cloth, but hold opposing ideologies. Still, I wanted something different. Killmonger may have valued the untapped power of Wakanda and what it allowed him to do, but I don't think he cared about the costume or the title of Black Panther, just what it signified. All he wanted was to be king. The Black Panther killed his father. He should have burned that notion to the ground and started fresh. I will say, I enjoyed some of the other costumes he wore in the film that embraced his comic book looks. His chest armor may or may not have been influenced by Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, since Michael B. Jordan is a known fan of the character in the series. That said, the final battle is uninspired, something we've seen before. Killmonger's death, though, now that's something else. I'm usually against killing villains in these movies, but this was a powerful moment. He got to witness a Wakandan sunset, the one his father promised to show him all those years ago. He bleeds out from a stab wound, refusing to be healed and imprisoned, valuing freedom over bondage, just like his ancestors. In the early comics, in the first storyline he appeared in, Killmonger dies after lifting T'Challa over his head to throw him off a cliff into the rushing waters below. He's pushed by a young boy, one that T'Challa had saved from a charging rhinoceros, named Kantu, and falls to his doom. Killmonger's death in the 2018 film is nothing short of beautiful. It easily surpasses the one in the comics. It has much more emotional resonance and significance within the story. Erik refuses aid and dies believing in his cause. He dies peacefully, with acceptance. His death changes the main hero in a profound way. T'Challa, up until that point, had been reserved, cautious, and conservative regarding his people, their country, and their technology being shared with the outside world. Though Killmonger's viewpoint was poisoned by vengeance and misguided, it had a certain level of truth to it. T'Challa absorbs the positive elements of his fallen foe's goal into his own. He decides to introduce Wakanda's advanced vibranium technology to the rest of the world, hoping to protect each other as one tribe, one people. And this is why T'Challa grows as a character by the end of the film. He gains wisdom and harmony from something so destructive and toxic. Despite its flaws, you can nitpick every movie. Black Panther remains one of the best MCU films, not just because of its cultural impact and significance, but because of its strong themes and message. Its villain is racially charged, and yes, the movie does touch on race relations, a subject that can be sensitive and polarizing. But it does so in such a clever and respectful way that no real harm is caused. If anything, it teaches you, it makes you think, it helps you grow. What do you guys think of Michael B. Jordan's Erik Killmonger? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share. I'll see you in the next one. Wakanda forever.